Good afternoon. This is Karen Goldner. I'm the director of the Small Business Development Center at the Women's Business Development Center here in Chicago. And welcome to Get Found on Google Search and Maps. This presentation is actually provided by Google itself. So I am excited about that. And it's a nice resource and both this presentation, which will be archived on our webinar or on our website later, and also the slides themselves. So what I'm going to try and do is walk through the slides relatively slowly so you can take notes and everything, but you will then be able to access it just on our website, wbdc.org, after the program is over. So Google My Business is a free resource from Google designed for small businesses, well, really all businesses, but particularly small businesses. It's a fast and easy way for businesses to manage their online presence with Google. It connects you directly with customers, whether they're looking for you on either Google Search or in Google Maps. And you maybe have used this just as a consumer, that you're in a particular neighborhood and you Google restaurants nearby or something, and you get a list, and you maybe have wondered why some of them show up kind of nice, and some of them are just tiny red dots. Well, the difference is how well the entrepreneur has put themselves into Google. So that's what we're doing this today. So if you've previously used Google Places for Business or a Google Plus page for your business to manage your business information, you've probably noticed that your account has automatically been upgraded to a Google My Business. If you've never done this before, then we're going to walk through how you get started in it as well. It's possible to use Google My Business to manage information about products, brands, artists, and organizations that don't include an address or a physical location. Otherwise, but they offer ways to reach out to fans, followers, and customers on Google+, for instance, if you have an online store. But today's session is going to focus on setting up Google My Business for local businesses with a storefront or a local service area. So even if you're operating out of your home, maybe as a consultant, perhaps as a translator. I see one of our attendees. I recognize a lot of the names. Then Google, what we're going to be talking about today will still be valuable for you. So let's get on to it. There we go. So let's just start briefly with why is this important, that you can connect with customers when they search on Google. And you see this example here of this dandelion chocolate. So 97% of consumers search the web to find local goods and services. 97%. But less than 4 in 10 have claimed a local business listing on a search engine. In other words, less than 4 in 10 businesses have claimed their listing. So today's session is designed to help accommodate that. When you get on Google, it's easier for potential customers to find important information, including, as relevant, your address. There we go, address and phone number, your hours of operation, as well as your website, or in this instance, a menu, since it's a food business. And they can easily then find directions from their location to you. They can easily follow your page or follow you on Google. Please note that if just by setting up this Google My Business process, it won't guarantee that your business is going to occur or appear in Google search results. But it does help Google show you consistently across search and maps. It does not replace your business website, obviously. For instance, these folks have their website here, dandelionchocolate.com, which sounds really good at lunchtime. But it complements it. So people can find out some information about you without having to go all the way into your website. Okay. So businesses with storefronts that are open to customers, as well as those who operate within a particular service area, can appear on Google Maps. These listings help searchers find businesses nearby. So, for instance, if I were in the San Francisco area and Googled chocolate, I would find some national chocolate companies, I'm sure, that would show up in my Google search results. But in the local section of Google, of those results. If I were nearby this Dandelion chocolate, I would be able to see that it pops up. And certainly if I start on maps, on Google Maps, I will be able to see it pop up. Google Maps considers factors like relevancy, distance, and prominence. And so this is where having a good Google My Business entry is helpful. So, obviously distance is kind of obvious, right? It's how close am I? If I'm in Chicago here, as I am, and I Googled chocolate, I'm unlikely to get Dandelion chocolates showing up, right? Because it's a long way away. But again, if I were in San Francisco when I did this, then this would pop up. Prominence is gauged on how well known the business is based on information that Google can find across the web. So what does that mean? It's helpful to have links. This is kind of independent of this process. You want to have links between your website and other websites that are complementary. So if you are in for instance, an emergency management consulting business, I'm looking at another one of our clients who's online. Get some links from maybe federal resources and so forth and put them on your website. And then to the extent that you're able to, have other people link back to your website as well. That helps Google think that you are important. So one thing to remember is that Google My Business works across multiple devices, desktops, laptops, tablets, and mobile devices. So the mobile is increasingly important. Over half the population has a smartphone and uses it to research purchases. About half of those smartphone users have made a purchase from their phone. So basically we're saying about 25% of the population of the United States has bought something on their phone. So this is, it's worthwhile to make sure that you're mobile friendly and mobile accessible. So now potential customers will be able to find you whether they're at home or with their phone. And Google My Business helps present consistent information about your business. So to manage your business information from a mobile device, there's a free Google My Business app, as you might imagine. There's an app for everything. So if you look in Google Play Store or from the App Store on Apple, you can download the mobile app. We're going to be walking through the laptop version of this today. And there are still a few tasks that you cannot complete using the app, including deleting a page, changing page settings, and editing service areas. So you're still going to need to probably do much of this at your laptop. But then as you're on the go somewhere, once the page is set up and you want to add a picture or edit some things, it would be often possible to do that on the mobile application. Okay, so it is free, free, capital F, capital R, capital E, capital E. There's no catches, or they're not going to bill you or anything like that. If you previously used Google Places for Business or Google Plus pages to manage your business information, as I mentioned at the beginning, your account has been automatically upgraded to Google My Business. And we're going to walk through the process of creating Google My Business for your local business. I think I forgot to say at the beginning that if you want to ask a question, feel free. Just type it into the questions little bar on the side of your the little webinar control panel. So just type it in, and I will answer it as soon as I can, either right away, or if it's something I'm going to be covering down below, I'll just wait until that happens. So go ahead and do that as you wish. And as I said, I'm going to try and walk through the screens slowly enough that you can copy everything down. So there's a side note. If anybody wants to verify more than 10 separate locations for the same business, like some kind of stores, there's a different way to do it using bulk verification process, and I would recommend if you want to get information about that, I can get you the link, just email me. But that's only if you want to do more than 10. Okay, so step 1, search for your business. So you're going to go to gybo.com, which is Google Your Business. I guess must be online, or Get Your Business Online. Maybe that's what the G means. Get Your Business Online /business, and type in the name of your business. and then just click on the Find Out button. You'll type your name right in here, Find Out, and then you'll see if your business is already listed in Google Maps. So I want to make sure everybody writes down this website because that's an important one. Okay, so I'm going to assume everybody has written that down. Step 2. You want to see if your, well, I guess this isn't really step 2 yet. This is still part of step 1. Okay, check and see if your business info is complete. So this triggers a diagnostic tool when you click on the Find Out button that tells you whether the business is found on Google. So there's 3 choices that are going to happen, 3 possible outcomes. The first is it'll say, nice job, you're on the map. This means the business is verified. That is that somebody, that you, the business owner, or somebody who's authorized to manage the business can sign in and make updates that can appear on search and maps. You can see suggestions for keeping the business information accurate and up to date, plus a preview of the listing as it could appear on Google. If there are sections that are missing information, they are highlighted for your attention. To access Google My Business from the diagnostic tool, you click the Update Your Business Info button right here. You'd need to sign into Google My Business with the Google username and password associated with the listing. So you are going to need, I mean, most people have a Gmail account. If you have a Gmail account or your business has a Gmail account, then you're pretty much done on the Google account side. If you haven't, you need to create a Google account for any of this to happen. And I thought that we said that earlier in the broadcast, but now I don't remember saying it, so I must have skipped that part. Okay, second outcome. Your business info might be incorrect on Google. So there's information in the system, but it's not necessarily clear that it's correct. At least it's not clear to Google. So if that happens, and it means that the location is unconfirmed or the listing hasn't been claimed or verified, and if this is your business, you can verify it to confirm the location by clicking the button saying Verify Your Business Info right there. This starts the verification process, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. Then there's a third outcome, which is the tool can't find any information about the business, and it'll say your business isn't on the map. Right? So then you would click Add Your Business Info to create a listing. So in this first instance, you're good. Google may say, well, you know, you could add more information or so on and so forth, which you probably should do, and we'll talk about why in a few minutes. This middle instance, they've got something in their system, but they don't know for sure it's you. And in this third instance, there's nothing there at all. So, oh, here we go. This would have actually been helpful for them to have had earlier in the presentation. Sorry. This is the part about signing into your Google account. So before you use any of Google's many products, you need to set up a Google account. It provides you a single logon, a username and a password, and access to all the connected Google products. For example, if you log into Gmail, which is automatically a Google account, you wouldn't need to log in again to access your calendar or your documents. They're all connected, right? If you have used Gmail, you understand what I'm talking about. If you don't use Gmail, you can register another email address as a Google account. So if you have an account with your domain name, or if you have a Yahoo account or something like that, then you go to www.google.com/accounts. So I'll say that again, www.google.com/accounts, ACCOUNTS. So that's that. Okay, now we're to step 2. You want to select your business or create it. Look for the businesses in the list of business results, right? So Stacia here did a search for Stacia's Bakery. They couldn't find it. And so if you see the business, you click on the corresponding arrow, and that skips ahead a step. But if your business does not appear in this list, click the last option, which is let me enter the full business details, and that will take you to step 3. So you've, just to reiterate, you've gone in, you've tried to find whether your business info is correct by using the diagnostic tool at gybo.com/business. And in this instance, your Stacia and your bakery is not in here, so you're going to click right there. Okay. Step 3. If you clicked on let me enter your enter the full business details, then you will get to this page, and it asks you to enter your business information. Be careful to enter it correctly, paying attention to capitalization and spelling, because this is how your information will appear across Google. So if you're Stacia's Bakery and you keep the S low because you just mistype it, or you make the B in bakery small, that's how it's going to be. So make sure you get it right. Spend an extra 10 seconds. Make sure that you're spelling everything the way you want it to be seen across Google. I'll throw in something here that if you have, like let's just say that I had a consulting business, and I'm, Goldner LLC is the name of my LLC, but I do business under, business professional consulting, or I wouldn't recommend that as a good name, but let's just say that. So I would probably want to set up my account using my DBA, business professional consulting. If that's how the world is going to know me, then that's the name I should use. So then let's talk about your address. So when you enter your address, you want to enter the complete and exact street address for your location. So they're giving an example here of 1600 Amphitheater Parkway, Mountain View, California 94043, with the main business phone here listed. You cannot use a P.O. box. It has to be a street address, and you only include information that is part of your official address. So don't include something like cross streets or nearby landmarks. Here at the WBDC, we often tell people 8 South Michigan, Michigan at Madison, just to help people figure out that we're not 800 South Michigan. But we would just type in 8 South Michigan here. And then, well, actually, we should probably type in 8 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60603. And yes, the slides, this whole webinar is going to be available basically to review after the webinar, so after this is over. So it'll be archived on our website. You can add suite or office numbers if you want to, like perhaps if this were 1600 Amphitheater Parkway, office 203 or something like that. You could pop that in. And then, of course, again, make sure you enter the city, state, zip. So in some businesses, or in some cases, your business might not be able to be located. If you're in a new area, an area where there are only P.O. boxes, the streets are new, so they're not in the maps database yet of Google, then you can go to, and I'll give you this address, support.google.com/business. So let me say that again. You would type into your URL, it's support, S-U-P-P-O-R-T, .google.com/business. And then there's a contact us button there, and you would click on that. And then you can either call Google or use live chat to get assistance with your listing. But 99.9% of the time you're not going to have any trouble. Then you're also going to be asked to select a category for your business. So she's down here, she's a bakery. She started typing in B-A-K, and it then, in its normal Google way, searches up a bunch of different things. You cannot create a new category. It has to be an existing category. So you got to pick the closest one. In this instance, for Stacia, it's pretty simple because she has a bakery. But if she were more of a wholesale bakery, like she sold only to restaurants or commercial accounts, then she could type in wholesale bakery, or select that one. Or if she were a supply store, obviously, you understand this. So if you can't find it, the perfect category, get something close. So for instance, let's imagine you're a LEED certified construction company. So you would type in, LEED certified construction company. You're not going to find one. There's not construction or a LEED construction category. So the closest might be more of a generic construction company category. And so that's kind of what you're stuck with. That's okay though, because you can use the business description, which we'll talk about in a minute, to provide important details about your business. So do you work from home? Many of you do, I know, because I know a number of you. You do not have to put your home address, you can keep it private. So if you are operating out of your home, and let's just say that, well, let me walk through the slides just to make sure that I'm saying this right. So your business would still appear on Google Maps, but it wouldn't have a street address or driving directions. So here's how you would do it. At the bottom of the page, you look for you still enter your address, but you look for the checkbox that says, I deliver goods and services to my customers at their location. So if you are in the consulting business, for instance, and you go to your customers, then you would click yes. If you are maybe operating some kind of home-based business and you're sort of at a small level distribution type of arrangement, then yeah, you would hit yes. Okay, so we've got another question here. Yes. So the question is this: if it's the physical address of a post office, so if you have a USPS PO box, can you use the physical address of the post office and then the box number? So if it were PO Box 123 Chicago, could it be 211 South Clark Street, number 123 Chicago? Yeah, that's a good question, Linda. This is one of the weaknesses of my using someone else's material. I'm not an expert at it. I think you probably could. You certainly could give it a try. But the larger issue is if you are operating, in a way it doesn't matter. And I think that you probably would put your street address of your home in the street address category here. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Because, and you then click on this, I deliver goods and services, yes. And again, keep in mind that the service area that I'm going to talk about is intended for a local presence on Google Maps. It's not a way to advertise your business nationwide or worldwide. So this is, again, more for local businesses. If you are selling through, e-commerce, and you're shipping things anywhere on earth, this whole Google My Business is not really designed for you. Now, if you are operating, for instance, a translation service out of your home, that's where this will come up. So you hit yes, and then you're going to say, my business delivers goods and services to customers within the following area. And you've got a couple of choices. You can either add cities or zip codes, like maybe if you're just in Chicago or maybe just in your neighborhood, you could put a zip code. And you can keep adding more, as many as you want. Or if that gets tedious, which it might, you can just set a distance, a radius within 50 miles of my business, which is why you would put your house in here, I think, actually, Linda, rather than the post office box. So what should this number be? Whatever you want. I mean, if you are operating within the Chicago metropolitan area, you might put 50 miles, 75 miles. If you really are focused just on essentially the city of Chicago, you would, in here, you would just type in Chicago. If you've got some sort of, let's say you're a florist operating out of your home, which you probably shouldn't be for long, but let's just go with me on this. and you're really only able to make deliveries within about 10 miles, right? So then that would be, there we go, you just type in 10. Maybe you are a management consultant and you would, go within 200 miles. You put that number. So it just kind of depends. If your business has a service area and a storefront open to customers, so let's say that you're like a plumbing supply store and you also do plumbing services, right? So maybe you only do plumbing services within 10 miles of your business, but you also serve customers at your business. And if you leave it unchecked, then your address is hidden. So in other words, Linda, for your purpose, because you don't serve customers at your business, you would type in your address, you would type in whatever the mileage is that you want, and then you would leave this unchecked. But if somebody has, again, this plumbing business, you would check it. By leaving it unchecked, your address is hidden. If you check it, your address shows up on Google. And then when you're done, you just click Continue down here. Keep going. Okay. So, step 4, confirm your business. You want to review the information carefully. Make sure that it's all typed the way you want it to. Make sure that the address is correct. Oops, sorry, this didn't. Let's keep going. Now we can do it. Okay. And of course, the all-important terms of service, which you can read by clicking here, or if you're like everyone else on earth, you just click that. But what you are saying here that is important is that you are authorized to manage the business, right? What's to stop me from going into Stacia's Bakery and, messing around with it, particularly if she hadn't claimed it yet, right? Well, we'll talk about this confirmation process, which is super important. So we're going to click Continue. Now, here is the answer to the question you might have had and not asked, which again is, how do you keep Karen from going into every one of your businesses and just messing around with them for fun? Well, it's called the verification process, which is step 5. So you're going to click on Mail Me Your Code. Now, this is very old school, but it is pretty secure and it works. So Google doesn't want just anybody to manage your business information. So to make sure that it's correct, they want you to verify that you're the owner. Most business owners verify by postcard. If you're verifying a business that's already on Google, you may be able to verify by phone. We'll talk about that in a minute. But if this is the first time you're doing it, when you did the original diagnostic, it showed up at you're not on Google yet, and now you're entering yourself in. Most of the time people do it by postcard. So, and if you've already verified your business's website with Webmaster Tools, which is in the Google Search Console, which we'll talk about briefly, you may be eligible for instant verification. But you have to be signed in with the same account that's used to verify your site with Webmaster Tools. Anyway, so for both phone and mail verification, Google will send you within 1 to 2 weeks a unique 5- or 6-digit verification code. You'll use that code to confirm your affiliation with the business. Each verification code is unique to the account and the particular listing for which you're requesting verification, so don't share it with anybody else. I'm going to go ahead and just repeat this. For mail and phone verification, Google sends businesses a unique 5- to 6-digit verification code. You'll use that code to confirm your affiliation with the business. Each verification code is unique to the account and the particular listing for which you're requesting verification. So please do not share this verification code with anybody else. If you have the option to verify your business by phone, make sure that you can directly answer the phone number, the business phone number, to receive your verification code. If you have a voicemail or a switchboard or a call center, this method will not work. So it needs to be a phone that you will hear ring and pick up immediately. So if you are able, if you are given the option to verify by phone, you can click on that, and the phone, you'll have the code sent to your phone automatically, via an automated message, and then you'll enter the code from the message into your dashboard, or you'll just wait a week or so and get the postcard. So here's something important to remember. Google is never going to call your business and ask for your code or password or any personal information. I will repeat that. Google will never call your business and ask you for a code or a password or personal information. So if you get such a call, just hang up. It's some prince from Nigeria or whoever. If you do not see the phone or the Webmaster Tools verification options, which she doesn't have, then you just click on Mail Me My Code. Okay. What's next? A PIN. Your PIN, personal identification number, should arrive in about a week. So you're going to have clicked Send a Postcard. The postcard then is on its way, is what this will tell you. And you can also add an optional contact name to help your postcard reach you if you want to do that. See, like this would then say, attention Stacia at Stacia's Bakery. And then you click on Send Postcard, and it takes 1 or 2 weeks for your postcard to arrive. Okay, so let's walk through the Google My Business dashboard to see what it can do, or what you can do on it. So you've already verified, it's all good. You will then get to, this is your Google My Business dashboard, okay? So if you're Stacia, you'd see this. You requested a verification postcard, and then you entered the code, assuming that you've gotten it. You can add a profile photo to help Google Plus users find and identify your page. That profile photo shows up, which is like this, whenever you interact with somebody. So pick a photo that really represents your business, like your storefront, maybe the picture of your storefront. It's not a picture of you and your dog unless you're a dog groomer, right? So it should be something that is going to represent the business. You can add the profile photo by clicking on this blue button icon. Get to it. Here it is. Or the Add Profile Photo button. So you can click here, or you can click there. You also have the option to add business photos, and that would be through the Manage Photos or Add Photos button, depending on, she's already got photos in here, I think, so that's why it's saying Manage, not Add. Or you can just click on these pluses. And if you really want to show off your storefront, there's an option for Add a Virtual Tour. Actually, here's where you're going to click Edit. Add a virtual tour that connects you to a site with information about hiring a Google Trusted Photographer to take a 3D photo of your business location and add it. To do 3D, you've got to hire them, and there is a cost for that. But certainly you can take all the pictures you want and add them yourself, and you should. In the top center area, you can see the information that you have entered when you created the listing a few moments ago, plus some areas that could use more information, like add a website, right? Hours of operation. Those are super important. And it's super important that they're accurate. I don't know if you've had this experience, but again, maybe it's like 9 o'clock at night, right? Not super late, but not dinner time exactly. And you're looking around for a restaurant, and you want to know that it's open. So if you say that you're open until 10, I'm going to kind of count on that as a consumer, right? If there's no hours shown, or if you're open till 10 but you say you're only open till 8, I'm not going to swing by to have a bite to eat because I think you're closed. So you want this to be accurate. If you don't have hours of operation, essentially, like perhaps you're in the consulting game, you can leave this blank, or you can say 9 to 5 or something like that. Certainly, if you are wanting to answer the phone during a period of time, because even if you're in the consulting business, there's going to be times when probably you would be less excited about answering the phone. So maybe it's 9 to 6 or something that you would put for your hours. And then your website is super important. Make sure that you add your website. And then again, this edit button is how you do all that. Okay, so now let's go into edit business information. You want to, again, make sure that you are using the correct spelling, capitalization, punctuation. Google doesn't edit it for you. This is you being, entirely on your own and paying attention to what you're typing in. So if this serving customers within 50 miles of is only visible to you, but if she types in the website wrong, the hours are wrong, the phone number is wrong, Google doesn't catch that. You just have to figure that out yourself. So you would click on the gray pencil icons. This is kind of like LinkedIn's editing feature in a way, to actually change it. So let's say that I want to put my website in here. I'm just going to click on that, and then I'm going to add the website. So you want an introduction, and you're going to click here to write a short description. And this is where you might be able to put something a little bit more interesting than just that you're a bakery, right? So maybe Stacia specializes in cupcakes, or she may specialize in some unique kind of, maybe some kind of ethnic baked goods, right? Maybe Czechoslovakian or something like that, right? So she wanted to put that in there because obviously there was no option for a Czech bakery, just a bakery. This is where you can say, what's special about you? What is your unique selling proposition? Why should people want to know about your business? Then when you're finished, you click Done, and well, first you apply the hours, and then at the bottom there'll be a sign that pops up that says Done. You click on that, and then you can make changes whenever you want. So if you are, let's just say that you are going to be open maybe late or particularly early on the day after Thanksgiving, and Saturday, Friday and Saturday. So like a Black Friday, a local Saturday special, and your hours are going to change. Well, you can just change them right before then, and apply, and they'll be good, and then you can change them back later. So it's pretty easy to manage that. And we will actually, because this is not my PowerPoint presentation, I'm not able to email it to you. Someone had asked, but it will be archived on our website, wbdc.org, in the events and online resources bar, and you'll be able to access it then. Okay, photos. Photos are so important. They help your business get found on Google in search, in maps, and on Google+. Photos can be added by both businesses and customers, and you want to make sure that you understand that your photos aren't eligible to show up on Google until you verify your business. So that verification step is super important. So there's several types of photos you should add to your business page. So there's the profile photo. We talked about that. This might be your storefront. It might be maybe one of your products. Like if I were Stacia, maybe I would take a picture of some amazing cake, something like that. This is going to be featured next to your business name on your Google Plus page, and your profile should be a different photo from your business logo, which would be added in the logo section. So you want a picture up here of your business, the profile photo. So then there's a cover photo, which will let you add a cover photo to showcase your page's personality. Your cover photo is the large photo featured at the top of the Google Plus page. You want the photo to be kind of a horizontal. That's my non-graphic art description of it. The technical graphic art is that it will be cropped to fit a 16:9 aspect ratio, which means horizontal. So you want to make a picture that is going to look good in that kind of a long thing rather than an up and down thing. Okay, square-sized logos display best on Google. We're going to talk about logos because you're looking at a relatively square size or uniform size area. You can, if you want, make your logo serve as your profile photo. Your logo won't appear on your Google Plus page, however, but you can choose it to represent your business on Maps and Search. So as you start going through this, some of what I'm saying sounds sort of confusing probably, at least it's confusing to me, but as you're doing it, it's really much more intuitive. And you can see how easy it is. You're going to add photos from the inside of your store, from the outside, maybe food and drink if that's relevant. So if you're a clothing store, your interior photos, you want to show photos of your some of your products, maybe hanging up, your inventory. Exterior photos can be super helpful for people if they're trying to find you on a crowded street. So it's always a good idea to have at least one exterior shot. If you're in a city like Chicago where parking isn't always a given and you have parking, probably a good idea to have a picture of your parking lot so people can know that there's parking right there. That can be a big plus to get somebody to drive over and see you sometimes. You can have pictures, of your team, just whatever is kind of relevant for you. Okay, here's a little bit more geekiness. Oops, sorry, back here. So your best photo format should be in either JPEG or PNG, and the image size can be from 10K, which is super tiny, to 5 meg, which is pretty big. And you typically want it to be 720 pixels by 720 pixels, 720 pixels wide by 720 pixels high. So 10K to 5 meg is the typical image file size, and you want it in a JPEG or a PNG format. Yes, and our graphic artist, thank you very much, April, for helping me with the word, which is landscape orientation. That's what artists call horizontal. So something that is longer than it is tall. Thank you. So in addition to being JPEG or PNG photos that are between 10K and 5 meg, 720 pixels wide by 720 pixels high, you want the photos to be good photos. And maybe this goes without saying, but we're saying it anyway. They should be in focus, they should be well lit, they're not photoshopped, and not a lot of filters. It should be a picture of reality. What does your product look like? What does your store look like? What does your team look like? Real pictures, not stuff that has been altered particularly. Okay, let's look more about some more tools on the dashboard. You'll be able to see how people interact with your information on Google. You can read and respond to reviews, and you should. So each of these things is called a card, and the page, that's how these pages are organized. So here's a few of the cards you may see in your account. The first is called Insights, and you'll see data in there once your page is verified, once your business is verified. And the data will help you understand your business's visibility across Google. So the card shows a few stats, like the number of views your business has had across all of the different Google platforms, Google Maps, Google Search, etc., the number of clicks, and new followers. You can click View Insights to get more detailed information, such as the number of cumulative page views, the total number of page views, of business info and content that's been received, the total number of clicks the business has received, how many people have clicked on driving directions. You can click on or you can find out the total number of actions that your business info has received in the last week, month, or 90 days. It just goes on and on. I'm not even going to go through all of it because it's a lot. You can get a number of comments. So once you get verified, you want to go in here and click on View Insights, and that should get you some good information if you're wondering, are people actually looking at my page at all. It's not real-time information. It takes 48 hours to refresh. So if you've had a big sale or some kind of big activity in the last, the last day or two, that's not going to show up for 48 hours. So then this next card is called Reviews. Again, this is once your business has been verified. So businesses often ask what to do about a negative review. And usually people ask Google, apparently, how do I get rid of it? Unless the review violates one of Google's content policies, you cannot remove it. So I mean, if they curse at you or stuff like that, then you can get it removed. But the fact that they didn't like your business, they won't remove it. However, Google encourages business owners to respond to reviews, both positive and negative. So if somebody has given this, like a 5-star rating here, and this really just shows that there's 5 5-star ratings. But if when you have a specific, you can click here and get actually on the specific reviews. Somebody really loved your business, say, hey, thanks, something nice. If there was a problem, then you might offer, if it's a solvable problem, you might offer to solve it. If it is a problem like maybe you're a restaurant and somebody came in and had a bad experience, you might offer to, apologize and offer to take 10% off the next time they come in. And you might, those kind of discussions, you might want to move off of Google into just email. So you might say, I'm sorry that you had a bad experience. I feel really badly about that. Want to be able to, show you what we really can do. Let's, email me at, give an email address, and we can work out something because I'd like to be able to help, help show you that we're better than that or something like that. One thing I'd read a long time ago is that people don't care so much whether there's a problem. It's how you've responded to the problem. Because most people, most of the time, understand that we live in an imperfect world, right? But if you are defensive or deny that there's a problem or anything like that, then they're going to say, hey, that person handled it really badly. So that's what you want to be able to do. The other thing is that you want to, offline, encourage customers to write about good experiences. So ask them for a good review. Make it easy for them. If you're corresponding with them on email, send them a link to your Maps listing, your business listing in an email, and explain how you can, just ask them to, click here and, would you please give me a review? Because that really matters to people. Again, think about yourself as a consumer, right? You're in an area that you don't know very well and you want to go out to dinner. So are you more likely to go to the 4-star reviews or the 1-star reviews, right? You're more likely to go to the 4-star reviews. And if there's no reviews at all, you don't necessarily get a sense that this business has been around very long, or that it's not that it's not legitimate, but it's just a little bit easier to doubt. So then this card gets you to Google+. You can share updates with your audience directly from Google My Business. And so if you use Google+ for social media, which I'm advised that there are 50 or 60 people on Earth who do, you can do that very easily. The last card here is if you're advertising your business on Google. You can see advertising activity, clicks, phone calls, views, impressions, and you can manage your advertising account from here. Now I will say that Google AdWords is something that you do pay for, and it may be a really good strategy for you. If you want to think through whether that is a good strategy or not, you can always make an appointment with one of our advisors here at the WBDC, or you can just kind of think about who are your target audience and how are you going to access them. Okay. Now, let's say that you're in a business of a little bit of a bigger size and you want to have somebody else help you. So, you know, I'm Stacia, but I've got Whitney here who's going to be handling a lot of things for me. I can certainly let her help me do that. So I would invite Whitney to help manage this information. Now here's an important thing, because remember at the beginning we talked about your Google account, and that's your Gmail and your calendar and everything in the Google My Business listing. If you invite someone through the Google My Business listing platform, you are giving them access to Google My Business, to this listing, and maybe you have 10 bakeries. It would only be for the one that you're using the listing for. But they do not have any other Google product access like Gmail. So in other words, they can't read your email. So I'm Stacia, I have a Gmail account for my email, and I've set up Stacia's Bakery through this, and then I add Whitney, invite her to be a manager of this Google My Business page. Whitney cannot access my email. So that's an important thing to know. So to add a manager, you click the menu icon on the top left corner of the dashboard, which is this little line thingy. Then you choose Managers, and then you add the email address for Whitney, of the manager you want to invite. There are 3 access levels. There's Owner, which is you, unless you transfer your ownership to another manager. There's Managers, which can do almost anything an owner can do, other than delete the listing or transfer ownership. And then there's Communications Managers that have more limited access to the business listing. It's probably a good idea to have a trusted second person be a manager so that they can do lots of things for you. If you are in a fairly large organization and you just have somebody who essentially is going to be doing some minor posting stuff, then you can make her or him a communications manager. So when you're done typing in the addresses, you're going to click Invite to send an email to the new page managers. When they open the email and accept the invitation, you'll then see them listed as either managers or communications managers as you did, whichever you invited them to be. So as the owner, you can revoke access to the business listing, or you can transfer ownership of the page to another manager. So if Whitney leaves, you know, and then we have Bobby is going to come, so I would just, at that point, revoke access to Whitney, and I would send Bobby an invitation. Okay, so to return to Google My Business, to make changes whenever you want, you go here, google.com/business. Google.com/business. You can make changes from any device with a web browser and internet access as long as you have the username and password. The username and password is super important. So if you have trouble remembering these things, you know, write it down somewhere that's reasonably secure, but that you can find it if you need to. So when you want to come back into it, again, you just go to www.google.com/business with the email and password that you used to create and verify the account. You will not need to go back to that www.gybo.com website, the Get Your Business Online website, to access an existing Google My Business account. So once you're set up, you never need to go back to the GYBO account. You just go to google.com/business. Then there is the app, as I mentioned at the beginning, that you can get for either iOS or Android. And you have to download it. It's free, but you do have to download it in order to use it. You can't do everything, as I mentioned at the beginning, to your listing through the app, but you can do a lot. So if that's more convenient for you, then go for it. Okay. So let's fast forward a week or two when your postcard from Google My Business arrives in the mail. Now it's time to complete the verification process so that your business will appear on maps, and you'll be able to see data in the Google My Business dashboard as we talked about. You'll be able to see the pictures and so forth that you've put up. The verification PIN code, personal identification number, which is that 5 to 6 digit number that you'll get, is valid for 30 days. So you should do it as soon as the postcard arrives. Don't put it off. So with your postcard in hand, return to Google My Business by going in here, signing in at google.com/business. Don't go to GYBO. Go to google.com/business. And then you sign in, and then you enter your PIN. Where it says enter code, you'll click on it, and there we go, click on it, enter the code, and then you're good. So you'll be able to do your photos, you'll start showing up, it's all good. You can do the add virtual tour thing if you want to pay somebody to take a 3D tour of your business. And again, you want to make sure that you've added your hours of operation and added your website. And then you complete the verification, right? You type in your PIN, and then you hit submit. So let's go back. I want to just go back 2 stops here. One more stop. There we go. So you've got your postcard in your hand. You go to google.com/business. You sign in using the email address and the password that you had created or that are on your Google account if you already had a Google account. You're going to hit enter code right there. And there it is. Enter your code and then hit submit. And that will be the verification process. It is now completed. Okay, so here is kind of a expedited verification that only takes 5 days, and you don't need to request a postcard. So you would use your Google username, the complete email address associated with the business listing, and make sure that you check your email, as you will receive an email to confirm verification or if there are issues that need to be addressed. So this is one of those things where you want to check spam, et cetera, et cetera. So if you go to gybo.com/verifymybusiness, if you're eligible for that, then you can use the expedited. So thank you very much. You're now ready to set up your Google My Business account, so congratulations. Again, you can go to www.google.com/business to set up your Google for Business account. I would encourage everybody, if you haven't already done that, to perhaps make that one of your next steps for the afternoon or even this evening for a few minutes, and to just get going on that. So we've got a couple more minutes left, really just a couple minutes left, before the webinar is going to end. So if you have any questions, and I do wish you luck. Several people have said, thanks, wish me luck. Yes, yes, you are wished luck. You will do great. And thank you very much. But if you have any last minute questions, just go ahead and type them in. I'll stay on the line for about another minute or two. Again, this webinar is being archived by sometime this afternoon or tomorrow morning. It'll be back online. So just to kind of give you last minute a couple of the email addresses again, or the web addresses again: www.google.com/business. That's the one if you already have an account. But in order to actually do your original step 1, right, which is the find out whether you're on or not, that is gybo.com/business. www.g like in get, y like in your, b like in business, o online.com/business. gybo.com/business. That's where you start and type in your business and go from there. It's been a pleasure talking with you. I don't have any other questions, so I am going to go ahead and say have a great afternoon and happy getting yourself on Google. Bye-bye.